Hey everybody, it is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live. Today is, Wednesday, June 10th, 2020. We are again in the final hour of the trading day. I prefer to make the majority of my buying and selling decisions at the end of the day. And the reason for this is because during the day, the algorithms and the day traders, they are controlling the price of the market. They're the ones moving it around. At the end of the day, you have the large financial institutions coming in. They come in with size. They have extremely smart people. They have the best information. They have the best technology. They have the best research departments. And they start making their moves at the end of the day. And I consider them smart money. And I like to follow them, right? I like to follow the smart money and make the majority of my buying and selling decisions based upon what they're doing at the close. That being said, I did have a couple day trades today that I will show you. But it is another wild one out there today. Holy smokes. Fed Chairman Jay Powell came out, said that they were going to keep interest rates near zero through 2022 and 5% GDP growth. And initially the market rallied strongly on that. But as it tends to do with these big announcements, you get a lot of whipsaws right around the announcements, and that's what we had. We went down, then we went up, now we're coming back down. So always an interesting day. A lot of times I just don't trade around those announcements, just kind of like not trading around earnings. So anyway, let's take a look. Yeah, Dow is down 270 points right now. Wow. NASDAQ is up 53.83 points, up about 0.5%. S&P is down 16 points, down about 0.5%. So kind of like yesterday, we were down in the S&P and the Dow and up on the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ's been extremely strong. So interesting day so far. Boy, let me take a look over here, see what's happening. Give me a second. Okay, and let me check one more thing. Okay, that seems about right. Okay, so Dan is here. Hey, Dan, good to see you, my friend. Peace right back at you. Evan is here. Hey, Evan, good to see you. Good afternoon. David is here. Hey, David, always nice to have David. David was one of my first viewers long time ago, so I appreciate that, Dave. Dirk is here. Hey, Dirk. Hello, Greg, and all the other traders. Hello, Dirk. Good to see you. Good to see you, my friend. Wow, interesting day. All right, so Miko25 is here. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Miko. Hope you're doing well. We like to check in with you one of these nights, just see how you're doing, how everything's going. Okay, so we have a lot to do today. First of all, we are going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, we're going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, how I'm going to manage them moving forward. Then I have a bunch of stocks here that you have shared with me. The people in the group have shared with me. So we'll run through those, see how those are doing. I'm seeing a few that are doing really well. So that's good. After that, we're going to talk about trader psychology, trader philosophy, trading words of wisdom. It's my favorite part of the day because it's good for me to hear me talk about it. And hopefully it's good for you to hear talk about it as well. You know, to sum trading up, buy at support, sell at resistance, and stick with your plan. Right? Doesn't sound too hard, but when you're dealing with those angels and devils on your shoulders, boy, it gets tough. And that's why trading is so tough, because your emotions get a hold of you. So I like to talk about emotions, trading, psychology, trading philosophy. We'll do a few minutes on that. After that, I'm going to go down through my watch list, going to take a look at each symbol. I have 3 requirements whenever I look to enter a position. First requirement is I want to have a confluence or a combination of indicators lining up. I look at each indicator as a potential group of buyers, and you will dramatically increase the chances of having a profitable trade if you are in the company with as many other groups of buyers as possible. So that being said, I look at indicators as groups. I want as many groups as possible, so I look for a combination or confluence of indicators lining up. Step number 2, make sure I have a good risk to reward ratio. Need to have at least 2 times to the upside compared to what I am willing to risk on the downside. And number 3, always want to be cognizant of what kind of positions you have, what the correlation is. Don't want to have too many of the same sector, and ideally you want to have something outside of securities like gold or bonds or oil or silver maybe a currency, something like that. So those are the 3 requirements. I'll go down through, take a look. If it looks good, I will enter something at the end of the day. After the market closes, if you have any questions for me, please let me know. Happy to answer them. If you'd like me to take a look at any stock symbols, feel free to put the stock symbol in the chat and I will definitely get to it. If there's a stock symbol that you think is important and would like my opinion on before the market closes, please go ahead, put it in the chat, but please put it a asterisk or emoji by it so I know it's time sensitive. Otherwise, I'll leave the rest for the end of the day. Then also after the market closes, if you could be so kind and you want to update me on any positions you have, any new entries or exits of the positions up on the board, please go ahead, do so. But please wait till the end of the day just so that the market's closed and the pressure's off. All right, so that is the plan. So, okay, hang tight. We'll be back in about 40 seconds. Thanks. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. Alrighty. Been noticing here on the charts, see this pullback to value we had on Apple, pullback, a couple days sidewards. Now we have a V2. I think I am going to go ahead, place a trade on that right now, and I'll have to follow it during the day here. All right, so real quick, where did I get filled? I got filled at 353.12. 353.12. All right. So far, so good. See the pullback into the value, the couple days sideways movement, and the V2 here. So my stop would be right about here, halfway of the washout bar. So currently up a little. We'll see what happens. Excuse me. Okie dokie. Sorry, I lost my place. Evan, good to see you. Frank, nice to see you. Tesla broke 1,000. Wow, unbelievable, huh? Hey, Kamal, good to see you, buddy. Kamal wants to look at OKTA. Okay. OKTA. Yeah, it's pretty nice. I mean, oh, this is the one I looked at earlier. Two things going on here. We come into the value zone. We get 2 days sideways motion. This bar not only washes out the previous low, but it also looks like it may trigger a V1 right here. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's a fantastic setup, no doubt about it. You know, you could go ahead and buy it here if you wanted. But if it untriggered at the end of the day, you'd have to get out, right? So sometimes getting in early, you get a lot better price, but other times waiting for confirmation of that trigger, you won't get in. It might go up and then close under and you would have to get out. But yes, I like that a lot, actually. OKTA. I think I'm gonna write that one down. OKTA. Let me quickly do some math on this. Okay. What I'm doing is I'm taking my maximum allowed loss on any one trade and I'm dividing the value of the 2 ATR into it. So that's what I'm doing. All right, let's take a quick look over at my little Apple trade. See, this is why I don't like to trade during the podcast, because I'm always looking, but you can see it's up so far. Okay, Frank says, why sell a stock that works for you? Better to be patient and get your due. Use a stop, give it room if you feel like it will bloom. Nothing is easy, you gotta try, and what beats a stock that wants to touch the sky? Oh, good stuff, Frank. Let me take one more crack at that. Why sell a stock that works for you? Better to be patient and get your due. Use a stop, give it room if you feel it will bloom. Nothing is easy, you gotta try and beat what beats a stock that wants to touch the sky. Thank you, Frank. Always appreciate that, my friend. Always do. Always appreciate the work and the creativity, and what a talent you have for putting that together. So Kamal says, I am already in OKTA. We'll see if it untriggers end of day. Okay, so you got in a little earlier. Nice one, Frank. I agree. Shoot. I'm wondering what to do with Apple. Should I have gotten in this trade? It's still profitable a little. I just don't know if I want to be looking at it. I don't know. Maybe if somebody can watch it, tell me if something's going on. All right. First of all, OJ, or JO, which is actually coffee. Bought it here with Kamal and Frank. Bought it with the under 30, over 30, bullish engulfing. Bought it here at 3106. Moved sideways, took a profit target here, went down, took another profit target here. But the last few days, just bump, bump, bump. My stop is a close under the halfway of this higher low V2 right here. So currently where it's at right now, I would have to get out with a small loss. SPY. Okay, real quick. In case we have some new viewers today, I want to explain this, but I do buy the SPY every day, SPY at the close. I hold it overnight. I take the overnight risk, and I sell it first thing the next morning. Why would I do such a thing? This is based upon a back-tested study from Lizanne Saunders at Bespoke Invest. Since 1993, they tried 2 approaches. They tested 2 approaches. First approach was buying the SPY at the open, holding it through the day, selling it at the close. If you use this every day, since 1993, you've actually returned a negative 13.9% return. However, if you did the opposite, which is what I do, buy the SPY at the close, hold it overnight, take the overnight risk, sell it the first thing the next morning, the gain is positive 634.2%. So 13.9% compared to 634.2%, right? Doesn't mean it's going to work in the future, but it may never work again. But if I'm going to allocate money towards something, I'm going to allocate something that has a good track record. And over time, you can see all it's done is gone up and up and up. There's drawdowns here. I'm aware of that. I have been through those. I've felt those. And looking at this chart, they don't look too bad, but in real time, they're brutal. So that's why I use a small percentage size of my capital to do it every day. Okay. So that being said, I did buy SPY yesterday at 320.79, and I sold it first thing this morning at 321.04. So good little overnight gain, not a huge one, but positive. So I'll be buying this again at the end of the day. Bonds. I did buy bonds back here on the 5th of June. We went we went under 30, over 30. We reject the 6 ATR channel. I bought it here at 156.08, and it's been a beauty ever since. Just up, profit targets, hit another 2 profit targets today. I'm above 1 ATR for my entry, so I am going into trailing stop mode. Let's see, did I hit 50 RSI today when it was at the top? Let's see. No, about 47. So anyway, nothing I have to do here, but if I do reject the 50 to the upside, I will go ahead and exit the position. All right, but anyway, yeah, this one's doing nicely, and like I said, 2 profit targets today. Where did I do with my other profit target? I think I accidentally erased it. Let's Sorry about that. Now I've got this thing stuck. Well, that's no good. All right, hopefully that doesn't give me problems. All right. Apple. I did have a few trades on Apple here today. I currently have one. How's it doing? It's about break even right now. So let me take you back through, show you what the trades were. Here was my first trade on the 5-minute. We were above the 1 ATR channel. We came into the value zone. Wasn't the best sideways motion in the value zone, but this was kind of sideways motion. Anyway, it triggered a V here. I bought it at 349.95. Immediately went up, had a nice expansion bar, went over 70 RSI. Right here, it closed under. So I got in at 349.95 and I got out at 351.96. Now, this one I hope is not going to be too difficult. I actually stooped low enough to trade on a 1-minute bar. I know it's embarrassing, but I did. But I want to show you what happened. This is the 5-minute bar. Do you see the big bar that we had, the big downwards move bar on the 5-minute bar? Then we rallied up into it, but we're not able to overcome it. I know that there's resistance in here, but I didn't want to have to wait for a 5-minute trade to present itself. So here I knew that most likely, or there was possibly a good setup to the downside. So I switched to the 1-minute bar. Don't make fun of me. I feel you being, I'm being judged right now. So on the 5-minute bar, we were in about the halfway of that big down bar. Then on the 1-minute bar, this was my entry. See the V1 to the downside, 351.96. So I decided just to go ahead, stick with the 1-minute bar on the short. So I shorted at 351.96, came down, had a nice big expansion bar to the downside. At that point, I was waiting for a close above the previous day's high, and here it was. So I shorted at 351.96 and got out at 351.06. Yeah, so 90 cents to the downside. Pretty good, right? Even on the 1-minute bar. Don't judge. I feel you judging me. Okay, and then, of course, we have the current trade, which I bought here with this sideways motion. It's moving up. Let's see what I want to do with it. You know what? I'm just going to get out and take a little bit of a gain. It might go roaring up, but I just don't like that it's on my mind. Okay. So I got in at 353.12 and I got out at 353.72. Not bad. Not bad. It might go a whole lot higher, but I don't care. I don't want it on my mind. But anyway, that was a pretty good trade. All right, then VIX, I did have a quick little trade on the VIX. It was a small loser, if I can find it. It's right here. We rejected the -3rd ATR channel. We closed above the 100-day moving average. I bought it here at 31.18. Immediately went up. It was looking good. I was just waiting for it to reject that 50-day, and it went above. And I was like, come on, close the bar, close the bar. Anyway, I had to get out here at a loss. So I got in at 31.18 and I got out at 31.05. So 13 cents to the downside. Not too bad. But anyway, really good trades. 3 positive one and 1 negative one. So that's not too shabby. All right, now let's take a look at your trades. Look at this beautiful trade by Evan. Nice V2 back on the 8th, 70.60. Up, nice up today, up 2.2 sorry, 2.71%. And we've gotten above this previous high, which is also good. Roku. Kamal had a great trade on Roku. Bought it here. I love these setups, everyone. See the V1, bar 1, bar 2. Bar 2 washes out bar 1, closes above, and then we also washed out the previous range. So it's a combination of a V1 of the previous bar, but also of a breakout and rejection, false breakout of the downside and reverse back up. Had a monster day 2 days ago, moved up a little today, was up earlier today. Oh, it's up still. It's up 12 cents. So congratulations, Kamal. Kamal also had another beautiful trade, return to value. See, that's why I don't like buying up here. I want it to return to value. Had a nice washout bar here. Kamal bought it back here on the 8th at 33.45. Had a huge day up yesterday, off of its highs today, but still up a couple pennies. But beautiful trade, Kamal. CRM, Kamal and David. Look at it again. Here we go. Sideways motion, false break to the downside, close back up in the range. Also had a V1 for Kamal and David. 173 even is what I have here. Moved up next day. Yesterday sideways. Today a monster. Congratulations, two of you. Alibaba. Frank, way to go, buddy. So above the value zone, in the value zone, sideways motion's what we want. V1 bullish engulfing bar. Looks like we had a 520 cross. Frank bought this 206.69. Actually, a few of us bought this trade, if I remember. I think I got out here, and then it moved up a little higher, moved sideways, but nice day today. Congratulations, Frank. Gib. All right, this is Frank and Kamal. Every time I see this chart, I have huge seller's remorse, or not taking the trade remorse. I don't know what I was thinking. We're below the 1 ATR channel. We come back into the value zone. We have some sidewards motion. We have a couple down days. Here we have a beautiful V1, V2, higher low V1. My favorite, I think 62.18. Look at this. This thing has just rocketed up. So far, up about over 10%, looks like. Just eyeballing it. USO, Kamal and MA, Karen and MA are in this. This is a trade a bunch of us took. We had this higher low V2 here, 21.49, moved up. I ran out of shares here, then it moved down. I thought I was smart, and then it's moved up ever since. So Kamal and Karen, fantastic. What do we have here? We have 33.16%. That is outstanding. HLG, Quad and Pinsky and Company bought this with this V2, 40.51. Kind of meandered around today. Look at this, another higher low V1, and it's up 4.37%. So fantastic. Walmart, Kamal bought this with a false breakout 120.25. It's been in the money. He's still in the money. It's now down a penny. UNG, Gary has UNG. He bought it here. I bought it here too with the V1 false breakout, the downside. I got out the next day when it had the loss. I just locked in the loss. Then it rallied, and then down, down, down. But it is up a little today. Still holding this previous range here. So Gary, if there's any changes, let me know. KR, ooh, Pinsky and Company. I took this. I like this setup. It's a higher low V1. Bought it here at 33 bucks even, looks like. Went up, down, up again today, down. Looks like to me it's going to close below halfway that washout bar. Netflix, Glenn had a beautiful trade back here. He bought it intraday right at the 50-day moving average, rallied right off of it, kind of moved sideways, then went down, kept him in. Yesterday had a nice big up day, today up a little bit as well. DKNG, Frank bought DraftKings, I believe yesterday at 37.64. I was up higher earlier. It's reversed back down like a lot of things have, but he's still nicely in the trade. Snap, I'm not sure, Frank. I have you down at 1875 on this, and I have this day marked. It would have had to have been back here sometime where you bought it. Sorry about that. But if you give me an update. And then AMD, I think this is Frank, right? This is Frank or Glenn. I don't have it on here. Shoot. Well, you let me know if it was Frank or Glenn, but they bought, I think it was Glenn. I think it was Glenn. Glenn bought this intraday here. Look at this nice sideways motion. Remember, sideways motion leads to big moves, right? Big moves lead back to sideways motion. Bought it here at 54.14, up another 2.25%. So everybody, it looks like almost everybody's doing really well. Congratulations. Let's see. Did I make the right decision on my Apple? On that last Apple trade? Yeah, so far. So far, so far. All right. Kamal is out of JO. Okay. Yeah, I remember you told me that earlier. Yeah, that one just hasn't worked out. I'll be getting out too if we close below halfway of that washout bar. PPLT. Yeah, I mean, it is a higher low V1, but here's the thing, Kamal. We were above the 1 ATR channel. We came down, we bounced. We've made a lower high from these highs, right? So we came down, we bounced, we made a lower high. Whenever I make a lower high, ideally, I liked it to wash out this previous low and then go for one of those false breakouts and a V1. You see what I mean? I don't think I personally would buy this here today. Who knows? Could go up, but I personally don't think I would. Wingstop V2. No, it's not a V2. It was a V1 yesterday. See the V1 yesterday? Can't be a V1 and a V2. So yesterday it formed a V1. Am I on the right symbol? Yeah, I am. Yeah, it does have a 520 crossover. I don't know how wing back tests. I don't know if anyone could. Although we do have a false breakout here. Yesterday, that would have been, you know, if you were going to buy it, in my opinion, that would have been the day because you had the false breakout from the low and the V1. If you were in it from yesterday and you get a 520 cross, extra brownie points for sure. But I'm not sure how it back tests. GM, hey, good to see you. Hi, how's it going? Buying puts on Amazon. 619, 2600 strike. Oh, Amazon's well off of its high today. This is a bit of a bearish bar, right? This is what Dr. Alexander Eller calls a bearish kangaroo tail. Buying puts on Amazon, 619, 2600 strike. All right, let's see if we can get it on there. 2600 strike, 619. Puts. Okay. Buying puts on Amazon. Hey, buddy. Good to see you, GM, at $26. Okay. So I got you here. 2600 strike price. All right. $2,600 strike. Okay. Oh, look, I got out of my Apple too soon. Oh, well, that's how it goes. Okay, so back to business. So listen, before we go through the charts, before we look for my end of day trade, keeping in mind confluence combination of indicators, good risk to reward ratio, keeping in mind correlation of positions and total account heat at risk, right? Those are things I always keep in mind before I take the end of day trade. I do like to talk about trading psychology, trading philosophy, good trading words of wisdoms. I go through Facebook, I go through Twitter each day, and I look for something that I think would be useful for me to hear and read. And so when I find something, I like to post it. So this is from Larry Tantarelli, Blue Chip Daily on Twitter. Larry's a very famous trader. I would suggest that you subscribe to his channel. He has also a service, Blue Chip Daily, with analysis of the markets. And anyway, I've heard of Larry for a long time. So when I read this, I said, you know what, that really does make sense. So let's see what Larry has to say. To improve performance, try these. Trade less, stay in winners longer. Man, not a lot of words said here, but a lot of value. Trade less, stay in winners longer, right? Instead of trading a lot and taking quick profits. Really makes sense, Larry. So trade less, stay in winners longer. Trade with the primary trend. Always a good idea, right? Focus on one side of the market. Focus on the short side, focus on the long side, become an expert in what you do. I trade both sides of it, but I don't disagree at all with the value of focusing on one side of the market. Don't add to losing positions. We shouldn't even talk about this because, we should talk about it, but I shouldn't even have to say it is what I mean, because remember, losers average losers, right? Does it hit home? I've done it. I know, I'm sure everyone's done it, but don't add to losing positions. Take your entry. If it goes against you, just get out. Use hard stops, good till cancel orders, right? So it kind of depends how you trade. I don't use hard stops. My stops are so far away from my entry. I use end of day stops, but it's definitely a good idea. The main thing is the psychology behind it. If you have a soft stop and you hit, you may not want to take it. You may think, it's so low. I don't really need to get, it's probably low enough. I'll just wait around and see if it bounces. But if you just have a good till cancel order in your system, it hits, boom, that's it. Learn how to scale profits. Well, I'm a huge advocate of scaling out profits. I like to take partial profits off the table, lock in profits, put it in my pocket so that the market can't take it away from me. Then I have fewer shares. Fewer shares helps me stay in winning trades longer. So that's why I do it, right? It helps with my emotions. And listen, when somebody really wants some of your shares, give them some. You don't have to give them the whole position, but give them some. Focus on fewer indicators, entry signals. Not a bad idea also. I have quite a few indicators, as you know, but to me, I don't know how I would get around without all of them. But, having a clean chart, if you're just concentrating on one very simple, like a crossover system or something like that, or, buy above the 200, get out under the 200, don't disagree at all. And don't trade the news. Trading the news is impossible. Do you really think you're fast enough to trade against the big guys and their internet connections and all the other stuff they have? As a matter of fact, when I was interviewing David Lincoln from the Short Vol show on YouTube, which is on my YouTube channel in case you'd like to take a look, he told me, I don't think it was during the interview, maybe it was before or after, when he used to work on the floor, before news would come out, he said they would always get a bunch of commotion, like 20 seconds, 15 seconds before the actual news came out. And you would see everybody making decisions and he would be going, what's going on? And then the news would come out. Well, how did those people get the news before it actually came out? So very tough to get ahead of that, right? So anyway, Larry Tantarelli, Blue Chip Daily at LMT978 on Twitter. But anyway, thank you, Larry, for those words of wisdom. I appreciate it. And hope that was helpful for the group. Okay. See how the VIX is responding around here. me just take a look at the current position. So it looks like JO, looks like I'm going to get out of this with a small loss. Speaking of taking profits, glad I took some profits up here when I had them. SPY had the overnight SPY trade, which was good and positive. I will be buying that again at the close. Bonds, really nice trade here for bonds. Glad to have that. And I can't get rid of that little indicator thing right there. What is going on? Oops. That's not erasing it either. All right. Knock it off, Greg. All right. Anyway, we're good. Hit 2 profit targets. We're good. Hasn't rejected the 50 to the upside. Apple had all those day trades on there. All good ones. So I'll get rid of that. And then VIX, I had that small little loss on VIX. Not a big deal. All right. Glenn, hey buddy. Hey Greg, energy, financials, industrials, and small caps continuing to drag. XLE, XLF, XLI, IWM with technology and healthcare. XLK and XLV continue to lead. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, look at the Qs. Wow. Wow. We're to 7680 RSI. You know, tale of two cities. IWM is down. Is bouncing off the 200 though. And the SPY is about even, but it is definitely reversed here a little bit in the last little while off the lows. Be interesting. See the big bar here we have on the 5-minute. Be interesting to see if this bar can hold that, but I will be buying this. All right, real quick. Evans kicking butt with ATVI, almost up 3%. Kamal back on in the green today for Roku. Come back in the green on TWOU. Kamal and David outstanding on CRM. Frank, beautiful, beautiful trade on Alibaba. Gib, GIB up also. USO up for Karen and MA. Really glad to see Quad and Pincy having this beautiful trade here. Boy, if I didn't buy it here, I didn't buy it here. But I like this setup much better because it's a higher low, rejection to the third ATR channel, V1, bullish engulfing bar, all that kind of stuff. Kamal's hanging in there with Walmart. UNG is up for Gary. Pinsky's down a little on KR today. Glenn doing really well on his Netflix trade. Frank's up a penny. Better than being down on DKNG. And Frank doing really, really well on Snapchat. Oops. Okay. Karen, good to see you, Karen. Always nice to have you, ma'am. Good afternoon, Greg and everyone. Good afternoon, Karen. Hope the dogs are doing well. And just a quick reminder, we still have some lessons we have to do. So when you're ready, you just let me know. No rush, but just want to let you know I'm ready to get those done. Frank says, thank you, Kamal. David says, yes, thanks, Kamal. Thanks for CRM. Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, try to emblazon this in your mind, everybody. False breakout of the previous low and a V1. Remember when I talk about I don't like to buy V1s, V2s. If they make a higher low, I want it to wash out the previous low. Well, this is what happened. Look, we came down, we bounced, but if I would have had a V2, I don't want it. I want to wait till it comes down here, test these lows, sets off that stop loss, and then has a V1. So V1, V2 with the rejection of the previous low in the first all in one go. That's the trade. So it's 6102. Keep that in mind. We have some maybe possible resistance up here. So it's going to be interesting. Kamal is literally, this month has been amazing for Kamal, man. So proud of him. It's a former student of mine, so it makes me really proud. All right. Well, let's go down through. Well, Apple, I cannot touch this. And my poor friend who sold calls on Apple, this is just devastating. Man. I did get a text from him. He did cover some of the calls a little earlier today, so that's at least good. I don't know what to say here. I mean, this thing is a monster. It's 80 RSI. I mean, this is such rarefied air. I can't touch Apple here till we get a pullback. Adobe, another big day. Looks like we have earnings tomorrow. We're over the 70 RSI. We're near the third ATR channel. Way too high for me to buy. Amazon has come off of its low. It's still up 58.26%. That's really strong. GM has some puts expiring in about 9 days at 2,600. So it would have to get under $2,600 for him to be in the money. Intrinsic value on there. But this is, this is a bit of a blow off top kind of bar. I mean, big up and then it got sold into. Boeing down 5% today. I had a beautiful trade on Boeing. I took it on the weekly. I bought it here with the V2 under 30, over 30, V2 under the third, over the third. And then I got out Friday for 40, almost a 50% gain on that trade. And it's close to being back to where I sold it. Alibaba, we talked about that. Frank, very nice. Just, I don't buy these momentum moves. They could keep going, but I don't buy them. Berkshire Hathaway down pretty good today, down 3.34 points. But, I wasn't going to buy up here. I actually had some Berkshire Hathaway in an account that I manage and sold it up in here, which I'm glad. But for me personally, to take a position, back down here, the value zone, see how we have the 50-day moving average right in the middle of the value zone? This would be a pretty sweet spot to buy it for sure. Beyond Meat, well, we're forming a bullish pennant here. You see the big up move and then just sideways motion. Trying to figure out whether it's going to go up higher, make a new leg up, or go down. Nothing there for me. Cat, no, have to have a pullback into the value zone. Carnival, I was glad I got out of some long-term Carnival calls right about here. Then it moved up. I was like, dang it. Well, that's what happens a lot. I'll get out. It will continue for a day or two. But if you look at it 3, 4, 5 days later, a lot of the time, not all the time, but a lot of the time, it will be lower than where I sold it. So we've had a big run. I'm not surprised to have a little pullback. Like to buy it back here in the value zone. Dow Jones. Keep in mind, we had good news from the Fed today. I think people were expecting it. I believe that's one of the reasons we ran up into this meeting. And it's kind of like, buy the rumor, sell the fact. I don't know. I don't know from here on out. I think it's possible we could go down. I don't know. I mean, it could go up, but it wouldn't surprise me is the best way to say it. It wouldn't surprise me to see the market going down now. People were kind of waiting and buying into that, into the announcement. As a matter of fact, let's take a quick look on the 5-minute bar. Look what happened, right? It's going sideways. I was pretty sure that was going to happen. Then the announcement came out. We initially went down, boom, and we went whomp, right? But then people sold into this, and it's just been going down ever since, although we've rallied a little bit. Hey, Marco, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're having a good evening, my friend. Hope you're doing well, brother. Penske & Co. I don't really want to sell KR. It needs to close at 32.55 or higher. This is so hard. Don't make it hard, Penske. Just do it. If that's your plan, just pull the trigger and do it. 32.55 or higher. It's 32.52. So if it closes under, just hit the sell button. It's not that hard. I know sometimes it seems like one of the greatest feats of humankind to hit that sell button. I completely understand, and I'm not making fun of you because I have been there, buddy. I'm just relating to you. But the proper thing is that if that was your plan, then the proper thing is just get out of it. Steve, what's going on? Good to see you, my friend. Steve says, I'm buying gold on the 520 crossover. Yes, I was looking at that as well. Earlier in the day, it didn't look like it was going to... Whoa, what did I do? Do I have everybody still? Oh, good. Earlier, it didn't look like the 520 was going to be crossing, but now... Oh, snap, it is. All right, so let me do some quick math. Again, what I'm doing is I'm taking my maximum loss per any particular trade. Let's say for me it was $1,000, right? I would take $1,000, then I would divide 4.43 into it. That would tell me how many shares to buy. Whoa, that thing is taken off. You know, with all that easy money, inflation, gold, hedge inflation, all that. But thank you, Steve. Appreciate pointing that out to us. Appreciate you being here. Always an honor, privilege, sir, to have you here. Glenn says, Robinhood traders taking a beating on AL, CCL, Dallas, Ford, GE, UAL, and WFC. Pay cheap stocks, own cheaper stocks. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I think we just talked about that, didn't we, Glenn? About the Robinhood guys. I knew it wasn't too long. Alan C. Hey, Alan, good to see you. Alan, good to see you. Get it? Okay. Where was I? Disney rejected the 200, looking for a pullback. Etsy, nothing really there. Facebook, a little bit of a bearish bar. V1 to the downside, closed below the open. Gold, we just talked about. I like it. As long as the 5 closes above the 20, it's still in the value zone. Man, I don't like buying crossovers when we have this much volatility, but I'm going to buy it. Another option is, you know, if you don't like buying these big bars either, you know, sometimes I don't take the trade, and then I'll just, if I get a pullback, give myself a better risk to reward, I'll take it. All right, so we'll watch that. Google, no. Goldman Sachs, no. Has to come back down. Home Depot. Look at this move. This is the most unnatural move I've ever seen. Just up, 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 up. You know, this is when trend lines come into effect because, I mean, it has been keeping a perfect trend line. But I don't know. That could be it today. Did it go above 70 RSI today? Let's take a look with my handy dandy little tool. Yep, it was at 72.98. You know, on Trade Navigator, what I use here, one of the things I like most about this, and my students, you know, always ask me, how do I do that? But I don't know of any other platform other than Trade Navigator that does this. So I can just, I always look at the RSI. Right now it's at 68.12. I can go to the high of the day, and I can look over here and see at that price what the RSI was. It's called the what if tool. So it was at 73.09. Sometimes you can just gauge it by your eye, but it's nice to know. And now it's lost. So, you know, we have a V1 rejection of the 70 RSI. Who knows? That might be the start of something. IBB, I don't see anything there. Intel, no. Russell might lose the 200-day moving average. That would be interesting. J&J, looks like it's having a 520 crossover, but I mean, sideways motion. I don't think J&J backtests very well. I better check. It's going to bug me. I somehow remember having a good trade on J&J, possibly with the 520. J&J. $5.20 EMA. No, not very good. Okay. CarMax. This thing ever come down? Ooh, it finally came down. This thing was a monster. Coca-Cola. Pull back into the value zone. Lockheed Martin. Really extended. Pull back into the value zone, or the 200-day here would be a good area. MasterCard. up 1.23%. That's good, but need a pullback. Mickey D's. You know, we had a nice move up, a little nice pullback. Wouldn't be harmful, but pull back into the value. How we doing on time? 9 minutes. Merck, I don't see anything there. Microsoft is a monster of all monsters. Look at this day up here. Looks like it is currently over the 70 RSI and currently over the third ATR channel. But this is a big expansion bar. You know, if I had some Microsoft selling into this, selling a little bit into something like that wouldn't be a bad idea. Netflix, remember what I was just talking about, Larry Tantarelli, you know, phasing out, taking partial profits. Glenn's still doing well on Netflix. Nike, down a bit today. Philip Morris, also down. PayPal, doing really, really well. The Q's off of its high, but still above the 60. Silver, big day up for silver, my gosh. SPY is down, buying that at the end of the day. Teladoc, very nice. Bonds I have. This one has worked out nicely. It's a big move for bonds. Tesla, are we above? Oh, man. There's a big gap here. That seems like a big target, but where is 1,000? 1,000's about right here. Wow. I remember somebody talking about selling calls on Tesla at 1,000 that it will never get there. It's there, baby. Twitter, no. UAL, getting hammered. UNG, up today for Gary, good. United Health Group, nothing, but could come back into the value zone. Oil is positive after being negative today. The dollar, look at this downwards move. It's good that it bounced off, but I need some kind of signal. I've been watching the dollar a lot. On the weekly here, it's lost the 100-day moving average. We may have to go down to the 200 before we catch some support. VIX, down, but definitely off of its lows. Verizon, nice. Walgreens, down. Walmart, keep going up for Kamal, Walmart. Come on now, don't be rude. Energy, financials, getting hit today. Real estate, hanging at the 200. Utilities, stop moving up, starting to form a range. XLV, nothing really there, and Zoom. So, I'll tell you what. I am going to go ahead and get out of coffee and take a small loss on that one. Gave it a good shot on that. It just didn't work. Okay, I'm out of coffee. Have to make room here. What was the one that Kamal had? OKTA. Gold. And gold also. So gold. Whoa. I'll tell you what. I'm going to buy half a position on gold. What I'm going to do is this. I don't like chasing this big old bar, but it might just go up like a monster. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a half a position here. If it comes back tomorrow and backfills a little bit, I will add the second half of the position, as long as we're still above halfway and as long as the 5's still over the 20. So in case it moves up and just goes rearing off, I want to have some. Now, don't think of this as averaging a loser, because it's not, because it's my intent of the trade, right? If it keeps going, great. Otherwise, I could buy the whole position here anyway, right? That wouldn't be averaging a loser. So I'm going to buy half here. If it backfills and gives me a little better price and gives me a little better risk to reward ratio, then that's what I'll do. So I'm going to buy a half E today on gold. And then OKTA. Let's take a look at the weekly again. We had a V1 here on the week. We held on the monthly, we held close to halfway here. All right. What the heck? Seems good, right? We have a V1 here. My stop will be there, so I better get to work. So let me go ahead. What do we have? 4 minutes? What kind of volume does this thing have? It has decent volume. Let me look at gold again. 161.49, 161.38. We have 3 minutes. All right, I better get to it. Gold, here we come. And I'm buying a half position here, by the way. All right. Okay. Over in this account. Okay. Man, you know what? I'm going to let this one go. I don't know what the company does. It is a good setup. Kamal's had such good, has had such good trades. I almost feel like I don't want to jinx him. It's a great setup. There's no doubt about it. But the weekly concerns me a little bit, being this high up here at the second ATR channel. That's the only thing. So I'm just going to pass. I'm just going to pass on that. But if any of you take that, hope it does well. Hope it does well for you, Kamal. All right, so I bought the gold. Overnight SPY trade's going to kick in by itself. Marco says bill into close. You know, I hate to say it, Marco, but yesterday was the time to buy this with the rejection of the -1 ATR channel in the V1 here. I wouldn't buy it here, me personally. I wish you would have asked me about this one yesterday, because that's a higher low V1 bullish engulfing bar, rejection of the -1 HR channel against a small bar. I would have definitely said I liked this trade yesterday. I know it's easy in hindsight, but I think you know me well enough. Yes, I do like that, but I wouldn't chase it here. GM says Amazon's in the money. Is it in the money for you already? Yeah, buddy. No, it's not. Well, not intrinsically, but maybe with time. I might close part or of portion. Okay, David says, yes, I've been looking for the what if tool in Schwab, and I do not think they have one. No, they don't. Trade Navigator is the only one that I believe has it, although I think some people, I know Jackson, I think, did it, but he's a really good coder. I think he coded it. Glenn says, GLD seasonally is weak in the summer and picks up from August into October. Yep. Possibly. I mean, I don't doubt you whatsoever, but I did get the signal, right? And I have to take the signal when I get it. You know, Glenn, historically, the market is weak in May and June, but you know, on the average, but May and June have been monsters this year, right? Yeah, Marco, dang, I wish you would have asked me about that bill yesterday, because I mean, honestly, I would have taken that. You know, that's the trade I would take. Higher low V1, bullish engulfing bar, rejection of the -1 ATR channel, closed above the 50 RSI. Dang, I wish you would have asked me yesterday. All right, so listen, If you have any other questions, please let me know. If you have any updates for me, any entries or exits, you want me to update the board, the leaderboard, please let me know. I'm happy to get to that. If you need any clarification on anything, please let me know. Oh, Steve, I don't know if Steve Burns is still out there, but I have a question. One of my students uses stock charts, and you know how some charts adjust for dividends and some don't adjust for dividends, Steve Burns? I was wondering if you're still out there, could you maybe type in the chat real quick, or maybe send me a screenshot of where that function is, where you can adjust for dividends and where you cannot adjust? One of my students asked me, and I'm not familiar with stock charts, and I wanted to help him out. And I know you're really good with stock charts, Steve. So anyway, okay. But before I do all that, I have to put in my daily little plug. I hope it's okay. Just a few minutes, but I just want to let everybody know that I do offer private one-on-one coaching and teaching lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach. I've had really good success with my clients. I really have. I teach a long form course, 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours. So it's a lot of material, but a lot of the time what we're doing is we're just going through looking for trades. And the format of the class is that I teach you the first portion of each session. Then the second session, I have you teach it back to me. I want to make sure you know it. We go through chart after chart after chart after chart, where's your entry? Where's your exit? Where are your scale outs? Where's your end of day stop? Where's your emergency stop? Where are your profit targets to the upside? Where's your ultimate profit target to the upside? Where's your intermediate term profit target? How many shares are you buying? Right? All the stuff that, I just think you really need to get repetition in order to really become a good trader. That's the only way I can learn. You always hear me talk about that I studied one-on-one with Dr. Alexander Elder and Steve Burns and Kerry Lavorne and Larry Williams. Well, I did that because I begged and pleaded with them. They're like, just take my course. I'm like, I want to do it one-on-one. That's just the best way I learn, right? So that's why I do it. It is $1,000, but I think it's going to be worth the money. I think you're going to be pleased that you took the course, and I think you're going to be very confident when you're done, as far as how to size up the market and how to trade. So if you're interested, please reach out to me. You can send me a message by Twitter, in my Twitter channel, or you can also send me an email, which is in the description of the video. And the Twitter channel is at Gossett Trading on Twitter. So if you're interested, please reach out to me. If you do send me an email or you do contact me, I want to set up a Skype call with you just to get to know you better. I want to learn a little bit more about you and your trading. It's a good time for you to ask me any questions about the course, what it involves, or any questions about me. But I do want to point out here and reiterate, it is not a sales call. Don't think if we have the Skype call that I'm just going to be trying to selling you on something. I promise you I'm not. I don't like when people do it. I just want to know more about you. You can know more about me and the course, and, I always tell people, look, when we're done with the Skype call, say, look, if you're interested, just send me an email later and in a few days. If not, no problem whatsoever. I never say, well, do you want to do it? I never do that because I don't like when people do that to me. Right. So, and at the very least, it's be a good way to put a face with the name. Right. And then also, if you like today's podcast, or if you like the channel, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. It does help build the channel and help promote the channel. And I think there's a lot of traders out there that if they at least came to this channel, they could get an idea, some good setups and some good trading principles. So you can help me, help them if you can hit the thumbs up button. So thank you for that. Okay. GM says, yes, my position on Amazon closed $29.50 and I bought at 26. So he bought his puts at 26. Now they're at $29.50. Outstanding, GM. McKinsey says, woohoo, KR closed at 32.57. I don't have to face my emotions. Yeah, that was right on the bubble, wasn't it? Sometimes you look the last second, it's 32.54, and then you sell it, and then you look up and it's 32.56. You're like, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Fantastic. GM says, Amazon 26.47 now. Smiley face with the tongue out. Have a good night. Need to rest. Okay, have a good rest. Okay, so let me take a look, see what I bought here. So remember, I did buy gold today, but I only bought a half a position, and I bought it at 163.49. and I bought SPY at, let me see over here. Wait a minute. Oh, here we go. 319 even. How's that? Okay. So SPY I bought at $3.19 even. I'm in the money a whopping 1 penny. That's good. JO I got out of. That was the weed in my garden. I do not like weeds to stay around very long, so it was a weed. I got rid of it. Hit the 2 profit targets on bonds. By the way, if we reject the 50 RSI tomorrow, I will get out of a portion of that position with a rejection to the upside. Apple, I don't have any more. Oh, I want to see though. How did I do with getting out? I can't remember where I took the trade now. Oh, was it here? Yeah, it was here. I took it here and sold it about here. So that was the right move to get out. Just got lucky on that one because I didn't want to hold the positions through the podcast. And then VIX. Hey, anybody notice? Oh, never mind. I spoke too soon. We could have a V2 tomorrow, but it really wouldn't be too valid because this didn't wash out enough. Well, maybe it did. I don't know. Kamal knows. He has a fancy dancy little indicator on there with the little arrow that tells him. I just have to eyeball it. Okay, gold I bought with 520 cross, and Steve bought at 163.49. So I am also in the money. 1 penny on that stock. And by the way, I only bought a half here, right? I only bought a half because of the big bar. I wouldn't mind if it comes back down a little tomorrow, and then I could fill up the position there. All right, so all in all, good day. Nice green day. Had the little winner on the SPY, had the nice little winner on the TLT. Had 3 out of 4 day trades go my way, and then had a small loss on JO. Okay. So Karen is out of JO. I think Frank is still in, maybe. So I'll put this over here, assuming that he still may be in it. You know, the thing about the commodities, if we do run into inflation because of the monetary policy that's in position right now, you know, commodities generally will benefit from that. I'm no economist, but Wiener Dog says, in case Steve did not hear your request, I believe if you put an underscore line before the symbol on stock charts that it will give you the unadjusted dividends. Oh, thank you, Karen. I'm going to send that off to Quad. That's Quad who was asking. Oh, that's good to know. Thank you so much, Karen. That's very nice of you. So I copied what you posted there. Thank you, ma'am. Glenn says, took Dexcom. Okay. DXCM 375.58. Whoa, you got a good price. 375. 375.58. Took that with the 520 crossover. 10-4, roger that. Okay, got you down, Glenn. Come on, Greg. I bought OKTA. Okay. Okay. OKTA. Kamal bought that at 180.75. Beautiful, in the money already. Sold JO. Frank is not in J. Okay, so we can take that off the board. I'm not sure if you ever were Frank or if I just messed that up. All right. Everybody looks like they have nice gardens going, nice gardens growing, not a lot of weeds. Remember, losing trades are weeds. Get the weeds out of your garden and let your nice positions grow, like the flowers and the veggies. As well, if you put the negative in front of the symbol in stock charts, you can see the chart inverted. Oh, interesting. Does anyone know, I mean, is there a little button to click on or off that you can just adjust instead of having to put the negative in? I should know. I have a bunch of clients that use stock charts, and I help them get them set up the best I can, but that one little function I'm not familiar with. But thanks, Glenn. Appreciate that, bud. So, Dow down 283 points. NASDAQ up 63, S&P down. So, that's what I was kind of wondering about, whether or not, I mean, obviously we're extended here. By every metric, we are in a bubble, right? By all the metrics that they use. And my thinking today was, going into today, I think there's a very good chance that people are going to use, this was the carrot on the stick, right? Buy the rumor, sell the fact. But I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong. Okay. Let's see what's happening after hours. Down slightly. So it's a beautiful day here. This is my plan. I am going to take Katie, put the hiking boots on, take Katie, go for a hike. I take Katie on her little walk first because she's an old gal. She's almost 14. So I walk her about 15, 20 minutes on flat ground so she can do her business and hang out, check everything out. Then I take her home, get her water with the electrolytes in it, get her little kibby. Then I go for my hike, which is up pretty high. Then come home, have a little something to eat, and then I have a lesson tonight. So Gary and I have our last lesson tonight. It's always sad with my students when it's their fifth lesson. But I always tell all my students this. I'll tell Gary tonight though. But whenever I have a student, even though I'm done with the course with them, I'm still always available to them. Right? Whether they want to email me or Skype me or whatever. If they have a question, they're not sure, I'm always available. So keep that in mind. Just a little perk. Glenn says, Chart timing experts have a low target to Friday, June 12th. Gap at 31.32 would be nice to fill before another run up to fill the gap at 32.60. Are we talking SPX, I imagine? Yeah, there's a lot of gaps in the S&P. Look, here's a gap. Here, that's not a gap. Here's a gap. Here's a gap. You know, gaps like to be filled. They really do. The market doesn't like to leave, especially on a major, something like this. So I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever, you know, if we come back down here, fill this gap. A big test will be whether or not we can keep the low of this gap day. I just like to buy a pullback on the SPY, but there's just no way I can buy it up here with the way I trade. Zach says, Greg, you hike daily. I do. It's a big part of my life. I just tell you what, I just need it. You know, I think about the trades, what I did. I think about the market, listen to a podcast, you know, listen to an audiobook maybe. But yeah, you know, it's good. Get the heart going. I live right by the mountains, so I hike up, get the heart going, get a little sun, good oxygen. Frank says, glucosamine for Katie. A friend that manages Greyhound racers swears by it. Yeah, Katie gets loaded up with glucosamine all day long, Frank. Thank you for that. But yeah, you know, I raised 10 German Shepherds, and so I raised the whole pack of them. And I am definitely aware of the issues with hip dysplasia that shepherds deal with. So yeah, I give her 2 brands every day, every single day, and I take her on the nice little easy hike, right? It's not uphill. I don't want to be stressed, you know, because she's an old gal, but you know, but yes, thank you for that, Frank. All right. So, anybody have any other questions, jokes, haikus? We already had a poem. Maybe we get a haiku. If you want me to look at any other stock symbols, I'm here for you. So the Dow's down after hours, gold's down after hours, IWM's up a little bit, Q's are down, SPY's down, and VIX is unchanged. So no new changes, additions, subtractions on the board. Everybody's good. Thanks, Wiener Dog. Oh yeah, yeah. You know, Karen Frank also raises dogs. Wiener Dog Trading. Zach says, awesome routine to get into. I personally like to play basketball about 3 days a week. My own personal time to unwind and get into exercise as well. Yeah, I love basketball. I used to, before I got into my hiking routine, that's what I did, Zach, is I just played basketball after trading every day. But lots of hurt ankles, stubbed fingers, broken nose, all that kind of stuff. Wiener Dog says, Wiener Dogs are long and short. Hey, you should start a fund called Wiener Dog Long and Short Fund. And I'm here for you, Karen, when you're ready to pick those lessons back up, okay? So DXCM, so Glenn got into DXCM with the 520 cross. Well, good. Well, let's look at the weekly. Yeah, I mean, pull back, right? We had pullback, sideways motion, moving back up. Who knows? Well, maybe we'll go back up there, test 428. Zach says it's great. It's cardio, best with my knees. Yeah. Marco, buddy, man, I'm so sorry about that bill. I wish the bill symbol. I wish you would have asked me yesterday, because I definitely would have given that a thumbs up. Right? Look, see, this is what's important. We make a lower low. People that were fortunate enough to bought that lower low, once it starts moving up, they're like, hey, good, it's moving up. But if it does anything janky, I'm going to have to get out and sell. Well, maybe here, is when people saw it not making, it wasn't going up higher anymore, closed below the open, and then you had some selling, you had some other selling here, then sideways motion. The nice thing here, though, is on the reason the higher lows work is if you buy a lower low, you're kind of limited. I mean, sometimes it's a V, but not often. You're limited because once it starts stalling, people will sell. That will cause it to move back down, and then it might go lower. But if it doesn't go lower and you get a new group of buyers that come in, and this is what what I consider a new group of buyers is a higher low V1 rejection 1 ATR channel. Now it will have a much easier time moving up because we don't have to worry about these people selling into us. People that bought here sold here. So now we can move up with easier movement because it doesn't have sellers, people selling into it. You might up here, but a lot of people sold here, here, and here. Anyway, sorry, Marco. Dang it. I would have loved to have seen you have that trade today. Shoot. Dan says 20 thumbs up. Hey, that's good. Can we make it 21? Let's see. We have 16 viewers left. If everybody just hit the thumbs up once or twice, it doesn't let you hit it twice, right? If you could just hit a half a thumbs up, I'd have 8 more thumbs up. That would be good. Okay. All right. Well, I guess that's it. Remember what I say every day. Please go out, try to do something nice for somebody today. Just a smile or a wave, or just be pleasant, right? We have enough crazy stuff going on in this world. If we just all be a little nicer and kinder to each other and helpful to each other, it would make the world a better place, right? And like I said, scientifically proven that being nicer to people will improve your trading. That's not really true, but it sounds good and it might be true. Who knows, right? So listen, have a good rest of your day. Hope to see you tomorrow. Be good, be safe, and see you tomorrow. Pinsky says, thank you, and have a mindful hike. Thank you. I definitely will. I definitely will. All right. Okay, take care, everyone. See you tomorrow. Bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.